Hey guys, welcome back to different setup, I guess, slightly. You can tell stuff is different. I have more manga box set. Cool. It's a video shot way later from the initial recordings of the 12 days of manga. Thank you, by the way, for checking out the 12 days of manga. It's very much appreciated that you have been watching these. I love that I've been able to make these, and yeah, just a quick honorable mentions video right before you get number one. Basically, these are going to be a short list of manga that could have made the list but didn't. I'll explain why. Most of them are kind of obvious. I can't find them legally. So yeah, if you can, like, comment a series. Maybe I'm going to mention the series right now because number one is tomorrow, hopefully, if this comes out well, because I missed a day by like half an hour. But yeah, tomorrow is number one, so yeah, we're gonna count down a couple of the honorable mentions. So yeah, okay, so we're doing this alphabetical order. So first is gonna be Acca 13, which is a Natsume Ono work. Acca 13 is like the one Ono work that I know that I really want to get into soon. The only reason it's not on this list is because it has an anime that is, well, I don't know much about it. I think it's a Madhouse anime, if I'm correct, and it's got, you know, the funky song that I love and can't get out of my head. I think Shadows and Truth is the name of the song. So yeah, and I didn't want to have so many shows on my list because I believe there's like 2 or 3 shows that I was like, yeah, I could potentially watch the show, or I'm currently watching the show, like Beastars, Zatch Bell was one, Parasite I've seen. So there was like a couple that were just like anime tapped into already, so I didn't want another one, so I ultimately took that one out. And I believe it's only like 6 volumes, so it's not that bad. So honestly, it could have been number 12 on the spot, but spoilers, I made that list like on a whim. Like I literally just took like 5 minutes to just think of series that I would really like to read, and then yeah, that's really what that list was. So yeah, probably if I had time to think about it, Acca would have been on the list. But yeah, Acca I'm looking forward to in some way. Maybe next year I'll be reading it. So if not, watching the anime, because the song, it's pretty good. Next up on the list is Ajin. Give me a second. Should have had it on me, but Ajin Demi Human was going to be on the list. It's an honorable mention. I have the entire series. I recently got this, like, I believe it was on sale for Black Friday, I believe. I forget when this was on sale. There's a whole sale about it, and it's honestly, it looks nice. And I got the entire series. I literally picked it up on a whim. It was probably like October, November. I think it was probably Black Friday. But yeah, they had the entire series on sale, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab it because I have been interested in it for a while. Yes, there's a Netflix show, and it's all 3D animated, so I probably wouldn't get into it that way. So I thought, like, the manga route was probably the best option. So yeah, and then I've heard a lot of good things about this series. A lot of people who have read it love it, or maybe even watch the anime. I believe a lot of people who watch the anime actually did enjoy the anime for what it was. So yeah, don't know. Don't quote me on that, but yeah. So I picked this all up, so I didn't want a series. The only series I had was Fullmetal Alchemist, which was like, hey, I had the entire series, so it's literally just one day I'll just pick it up. So I didn't want 2 of those, so Ajin would have been on the list. But I have all of Fullmetal Alchemist, and those editions are beautiful. And I had history with Fullmetal, so I wanted to have that on the list instead. But yeah, Ajin probably would have made it on the list, so yeah. Okay, next up is Baby Steps, which is a sports romance series. Eyeshield was obviously the sports series that I chose to go with because I had most of the collection. It's just like, hey, there's certain volumes I don't have, yikes, which sucks. So basically the reason Eyeshield made it onto the list and not Baby Steps is, one, it's more like a plea, like, hey, if you find like volumes of Eyeshield, please let me know, DM me, because I would love to just grab them and stuff. Hopefully the reprints are true for that series so that I can pick it up in full and just read it. Or, you know, like I said, it'll suck if it just gets vaulted into the Shonen Jump app. So yeah, Baby Steps was the other option. I was also thinking Kuroko's Basket maybe, but I think that's also another anime route. But the thing with Baby Steps is it's not available to read legally, at least, because, you know, it's not printed here. I think it's a Kodansha work, maybe, who knows. I would love it to get picked up. I know it's mainly more of a romance than it is a sports series, but it's always interested me. The way the shots I've seen from like animes of it look really good, so I've always been on the back of my head. So yeah, looking like the way the anime looks, I feel it looks like a bit 3D from what I remember, And then I want the romance aspect to be somewhat of like blue box, which I'm like very interested in the romance, so I want that for that. And then, like I said, it's illegal to read it at the moment. You just read it through scans, so yikes. So I'd rather just watch the anime or wait for it to be a legal product here in the US. So yeah. Okay, probably one of the newer series that I was thinking of is Cross of the Six People. Also, I'm going to be flashing up for like at least like the first volumes or like pictures of the series in question. The Japanese name is also should be here. It's the Japanese name that a lot of people go by when talking about this series. I just looked up on Wikipedia. This is the English version or English name for this series. It's Cross of the Six People. It's a revenge story. I've heard really good things about it. My friend Juan, he reads it and he loved it and recommended it to me. But I'm like, hey, I'd rather wait, even though like I could read scans because I think it's only like 70 chapters. I've seen like the first volume at Kinokuniya, like at least the Japanese section. I see it. It's like a very nice, mysterious cover. But yeah, it's a revenge story. I don't know anything else, just revenge. I think his grandfather trains the main character. Like the main character is trained by the grandfather. That's all I know. Besides that, just revenge story. I think he was bullied or something, and then he just wants to get revenge on them, so he gets trained by his grandfather. So yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about it. It's a Kodansha product, so I'm pretty sure because it got a lot of hype around like fall. Like a lot of people were like posting on TikTok, I think, because I'm late to TikTok, but yeah, a lot of people were talking about it. And so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like somewhere in the future in 2023 it's announced like, hey, this is gonna be made, because Oshinoko, which also was an honorable mention on the list, was gonna be on it, but I forgot about it honestly, and I wanted to talk more of Akane Banashi, because those are like the main two that I think that are coming up that a lot of people are interested in. But I feel like Oshinoko literally is coming out next month in January, so like it's already gonna be hyped up and everyone's gonna want it. And so I chose Akane because even though it is a Shonen Jump property, which I was missing, I had that and Eye Shield, where the only Shonen Jumps on the list. It was a series where I was like, oh, only like the diehards are gonna really like this, and people who are just casually going by will probably find it. So yeah, so I wanted to talk about Akane more, and Jerry loves Akane, so yeah, you're welcome, Jerry. I forgot, you should start with you usually start with numbers when you're doing alphabetical order, for like most places do. 20th Century Boys. I'm collecting the singles. I have like 7-8 more singles to collect, but they're basically the freaking hard ones. I know I can go the perfect route and get the omnibuses, but I'm already too deep into the singles, so I didn't want to add it to the list because, hey, there's probably a chance I don't get the complete series by this time next year. But yeah, I'm holding out hope that I can find the other volumes. I like slowly every couple months one will pop up. I think like 5's been popping up a lot recently, which I think I'm missing, so I should probably get that soon next time I get paid. So yeah, that was on the list too, or was going to be on the list, but I didn't want more out of print stuff. Like I had Zatch Bell. The singles are out of print, even the perfect editions are a thing. Eye Shield's tricky because is it out of print, is it not? So yeah, I didn't want like out of prints. I didn't want basically a lot of a certain thing to be on there, because I literally could have been a list of like 12 out of print manga. Be like, hey, I wish I could get these. So yeah. Next on the list is a series that is also, you can't find it unless it's the Spanish editions. The two next ones that are the two last ones. They have Spanish editions, which is something I mentioned in Zatch Bell. I believe I mentioned in Zatch Bell, or at least in the description I mentioned, like, hey, Spanish editions are out for these series, so there's a chance I could get them in Spanish, just to brushing up on my Spanish. But I would much rather want to get it in English in some form of physical way. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Rainbow. Rainbow is a series about World War II, I believe. It's like it's like a camp. If you know about World War II, I believe it's very fuzzy in my mind, but I think it's like a bunch of people who are inside this camp and what they're going through. And basically, Suki told me it's depression. It's like Suki Note's favorite manga, or like one of her favorite mangas. It's basically just depression in a manga. And even though like I have Pun Pun stashed away over there, I would want to take a shot at Rainbow because I've heard so many good things about it. I know there's an anime too by Madhouse, I believe, back in the day, but I've heard a lot of people go talk about the manga. I don't really think anyone talks about the anime at all for that series, so I would want to go the manga route, but it's very tricky because it probably won't get printed because of the context of it. Like Tokyo Revengers got forever to get printed because of the symbol. So I'm pretty sure a series about like World War II concentration camps would be something that a lot of people just don't want to touch, even though there's basically smut all over shelves at this point. But yeah, I digress. But yeah, literally anyone who's read this series in any way or just experienced it said like really good things about it, and it's very thought-provoking. And yeah, I've always wanted to try at it. I was very tempted to just read the scans. I still am very much tempted to read it, but that should show you like, hey, people do like this series, even though it is a very touchy subject, like how Tokyo Revengers was. Like someone should see like, hey, there's a lot to be said here, because I think it goes into a lot of deep stuff that you can just take away and just think about. So yeah, there's that, but it's an older series too, so the chances of it getting printed is very slim to none. I know like Origin from Boichi is getting, or I think it's Boichi, is getting printed out right now, and yeah, it's just it's very tricky. So yeah. Next on the list is Takopi's Original Sin. Just added this on there because I am currently reading Ichinose's Family Secret. I believe that's the name, or the Ichinose Family Secret. That's on the Shonen Jump app. It's one of the newer series that came out this year. I think I have the Shonen Jump magazine volume that debuted it. Give me a second. Yep, right here. The Ichinose Family Secret, something like that. I love this series. This is honestly like, besides Blue Box, is probably like my second favorite series to read on the app, because it's just crazy stuff that happens. Basically, a family all has amnesia, and they don't know what's been going on because they have amnesia and they don't know what they're like. And yeah, just a bunch of twists and turns. And I think it's only 5 chapters, I believe, that are that have gone out so far, and I love it. I honestly think it's like one of the best things that is on the magazine at this point. And so yeah, the creator's first series was Takopi's Original Sin, which I mentioned before, and it's only 2 volumes. I don't know if it was canceled or was a thing where he wanted it to be short, or I don't know what their orientation is, I don't know the pronouns. So yeah, something they probably just wanted it to be short is probably canceled, but I'm interested to read that as well, because I'm loving Ichinose so much that I would like to dive into their other works. And the art is really good, honestly. If you take a look at like just the amount of detail they can do for what the series is, it's just like it's sort of like a slice of life, but it's a dark slice of life, yada yada, because it's going through. You just read Ichinose's Family Secret at this point. So yeah, that's, if it's anything, I would love that to get printed as well. I'm pretty sure in a couple weeks we'll find out the rankings for the series. I am very hesitant to say that this is something that'll be staying on the magazine, because the last well-known upcoming mangaka, I forget his name, but he's the dude who did Hell's Paradise. He had Ayashimon that was on the magazine, and basically his fans didn't turn up for it, so that got canceled. So I'm very worried that this is going to happen to that, but hopefully not. Hopefully people are really enjoying this. Out of the new batch of Jump properties that I'm reading, I'm reading this one, and I'm reading Cypher Academy, which is the creator of Monogatari, their new works. I'm reading those two, and I'm enjoying this one way more than Cypher Academy. Cypher Academy is okay at this point, but yeah, Ichinose's Family Secret is probably like the thing to look out for. Like I said, Kanebanashi. Sorry, I know I'm very fast with my words. I know that series a lot of people love right now, and that's the new big thing, but I feel like this is probably going to be right behind it. Hopefully, I'm hoping that that's the thing. So yeah, Takopi's Original Sin, hopefully that gets printed along with this as well, because it's an interesting read, and I'm just looking forward every week, every Sunday for it to come out. I'm recording this on a Saturday, next chapter is tomorrow, so yeah. And the last thing I want to be talking about is a series that it's not here, but I watched the anime that came out this year, and even though it's very bare bones, it did enough for me to where I wanted to read it. It basically gave me the Tokyo Revenger syndrome, where I really wanted to read it as soon as I was watching these episodes, and I basically held off for this one, and that's Tomodachi Game, which I have one of the magazines for. It's the Kodansha magazine right here. It's their issue. And yeah, it's the main character. I believe this is the main character from Tomodachi Game, if I'm correct. It looks just like him. So yeah, the Tomodachi Game, I would love to get printed here somehow. Maybe 7Ts, Who knows? Let me put this down because of the glare. So yeah, Tomodachi Game is a death game. Basically, death game through the power of friendship, which is a joke. The power of friendship, but yeah, literally these friends are like betraying each other left and right, and it's very crazy just to see. And I enjoyed the anime. The anime literally was, for what it was really fun. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best thing in the world. It's not winning any awards, obviously. Maybe like best drama, maybe if the drama was very bare bones in 2022. I don't think so. There's probably a bunch of categories or a bunch of candidates for best drama, but I really liked Tomodachi Game or what we got of it. And I believe there's no hint of a season 2 or like no information of season 2. It was just very much left at a point where it's like, okay, they could do season 2, but it was basically like I said, it's a death game. Do multiple friendship tests to get through. Basically, like, the last episode ended with them immediately going to the next game, and as soon as they were there at the area for the next game, it just stopped. That's it. Like, and there was no like to be continued. There was nothing. It was just, it cut off, and there was nothing else. So that sucked. So yeah, and I'm hoping that the manga is a thing here soon. I'm pretty sure, like, I could see like a 7 Seas. It's a Kodansha magazine, but you know, 7 Seas picked up Tokyo Revengers. So maybe one of those two picking it up. Yeah, I just like the death game. I like the death game concept a lot. You know, the death game is a death game's a death game. It's literally the thing. Like, I feel like a death game is similar to a tournament where, like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's as soon as you know that it's a tournament or a death game, you're like, okay, I want to see what happens because it's interesting. It's very much an eye catch whenever you see those types of series. And yeah, will it get printed here? Who knows? Maybe I'll go the Spanish route. I've seen the covers for like some of the manga volumes. They look gorgeous, and I've been told that the manga looks a lot, like 10 to 20 times better than the anime, which I can totally see. It did have more of that generic flair when I was watching the show, but I can tell that, like, hey, there's a lot here that can be tapped into, and I would like that in the manga or in the form of season 2. Who knows? But I would very much like the manga version, because I've seen stills from the I've seen panels of the manga, and honestly, the detail is crazy in those, and just facial expressions are a big thing that was like hit or miss in that show, that a lot of people were like, yeah, this is like the main thing you're missing out from this series. So I would love to see that, like, in physical form, obviously. And with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into the honorable mentions. There's a couple series that I mentioned here. I could have mentioned stuff I have already, like Bakuman. Up there is you might have seen it in the recordings, but I have Summertime Rendering, which I've seen episode 1 of the anime, and I've heard the anime is really good, so have those. I have a lot of things. Fist of the North Star, like, could have done a lot more hardcovers. There's a bunch of series I had in general, but I wanted to balance it out, like I said, and hopefully you are enjoying 12 through 2, and number 1 is tomorrow. I'm very much happy to be doing this. Like I said in the beginning, it's been so fun doing these and just editing it and just having fun with just making videos again. So yeah, I very much do appreciate it. Dark Sage, shout out again. I probably shouted him a couple times during this series, if I remember. I was on a stream a couple days ago, and he was like, hey, I see what you're doing. Goal for 2023, once a week, which I'm gonna try. I will try my best to do a 2023 goal of maybe like 1 video a week, or maybe a video every 2 weeks, depending on like how it goes, because it is tricky with school. Literally like a semester away from finishing up, or a semester or 2. I gotta check again. I think it's 2 maybe, but yeah, like I said, these are just very fun to make, and I really do enjoy that I'm making these, and I can't thank you guys enough for checking these out. And yeah, if you've enjoyed these, just let me know, and everything is appreciated so much. So yeah, without further ado, stay tuned for tomorrow for a series that I'll see you when I see you.